I'm Aaron.
I'm Alex.
You wouldn't know it behind the sunglasses, but we're two in the booth. Welcome back in to this week's edition of the podcast. We've got some job vacancies that have been filled recently. All sorts of fun things to talk about.
Have they been filled? What's the definition of an interim manager?
Well, that's a good question.
Interim manager.
We'll get to answer that today. This episode of our podcast brought to you by Werner's Ginger Ale.
Good for what ails you.
Brilliant. Werner's. Yeah. And all sorts of fun things to talk about this week on the podcast. By the way, before we get in, apologies for the bad audio quality last week. Heard from a couple of you that Alex was too loud and I was too soft. We'll fix that this week.
Do I need to turn the volume down?
No, you're good. I need to turn the volume up. So tried to make some mods. I got a microphone in my face this weekend.
Let me get this straight. You heard from both of our listeners?
No, I heard from several of our listeners.
All two of them?
The logical word would be some listeners said that. So, you know, we're going to try and make things better. We're going to try and be better. That's our theme this week. Be better.
I just want to say this for all of our very opinionated listener out there. We don't do this for you. We do this for us. This is something that, just going back to day one of this podcast, this was just, we're like, we can do this conversation with microphones or we can do it without microphones. We're going to do it either way. We just figured that we would just, have some fun with it. So, how many views we get, how many listens we get to, like, we're not in it for that. And so,
we'll see.
Anyway,
as you can tell by our subscriber numbers on YouTube, we're clearly not in it for the subscribers. However, if you like this podcast, please like, share, and comment. Let us know that you approve. We do crave your opinions. We really do. We want them badly. We want your views. And we want to talk about baseball.
We do want it. We do want to talk about baseball. A lot of baseball going on right now.
All right. So what direction do we want to go first? I mean, there's a lot of different avenues.
I think this question for you frames the first big topic of the week.
Okay.
Is the MLB season a sprint or a marathon? Is the MLB season a sprint or a marathon?
Probably we should think of it as a marathon. Since it's 162 games, it's a marathon.
That's what we're told, right? That's what we're told. Then why in the world are we treating it like it's a sprint? Because in the two instances this last week of Alex Cora biting the dust and Rob Thompson biting the dust, it appears that maybe the message that the message that fans are told, like, hey, fans, don't panic. It's not the end of the world. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a long season.
Apparently it's not, though, because the front office does themselves panic and they're like, we got to shake this up because we're losing control of the vehicle and we have to make a drastic change. Case in point, we're going to create a fall guy and we're going to down Alex Cora, Rob Thompson, Carlos Mendoza, watch your back. All these guys have bitten the dust and we've only been playing baseball for a month. And so, I don't know. It just seems like maybe it's not as we've been told. Maybe the sport, maybe the games, and as fans, we know this, right? At the end of the year, at the end of the marathon, some divisions will come down to one, maybe two games. And you're going to wish that you didn't just totally mess your pants in April when you're two games back at the end of the year. So it turns out, the front office and the general managers that are disconnected from the fans, and they're like, the fans are emotional and they don't know what's up and they don't know what's right from wrong. And you guys don't know what it is to manage a team. Well, guess what? Apparently the front offices get a bit emotional too. And that was on display this last couple of days.
I think the thing that intrigued me about how all of that went down was how little the players were involved in the process as a whole.
Right.
They're the ones that caused the mess, right? Like, the Red Sox players are the reason why the Red Sox are doing as poor as they are. The Phillies players are the reason why the Phillies are playing as badly as they are. It's not the manager's fault, right? He didn't go out and blow the lead. He didn't go out and strike out 4 times. Now, okay, maybe decisions, lineups, bullpen usage, when to pull a guy, when to let a guy stay in. Maybe some of those things are on the manager. Maybe the overall morale and strategy are on the manager. Like, for example, with the Phillies, they had I think it was the 28th worst batting average in Major League Baseball. Okay. That's something that should be addressed, right? Like,
yes,
we're not just taking normal BP and going for the fences. We're making a concerted effort to get more bat to ball contact. And if that's not happening, that's on the manager. And I think the thing that probably sunk the ship for Rob Thompson, at least, was when he was asked what's wrong with the Phillies. He said, I have no idea what's wrong with the Phillies. We just got to play better baseball. Well, I'm sorry, but if you don't have a clue what's wrong with your team and why they're not performing well, and you have no steps that you're working on or that you can't articulate, to me, I think that's probably what sank his ship. Alex Cora, I feel like, has been on thin ice for a while with the Red Sox. They went out and spent a bunch of money. And granted, you have a bunch of guys underperforming, but he seemed like he was on thin ice at the end of last season into this season.
And he seems pretty at peace with the idea that he lost his job, because he was quoted in an interview as saying, I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, you get paid for the rest of the season to go spend time with your family.
Yeah, that's okay. So 2 things. One, friend of the program, interim manager Don Mattingly of the Philadelphia Phillies, was asked, his perspective on what needs to happen with the Phillies. And he so articulately expressed that we need to play better baseball, and not just with hitting, but in all facets of the game. And I'm just like, Don, Rob Thompson, whoever, make it at least appear like an upturned mop bucket couldn't manage a baseball team. Because if your take is we need to play better baseball, you're 10.5 games out of first place, sitting in last place behind the Mets. Obviously, is the sky blue? Absolutely it is. And you need to play better baseball. And so, like, and the reality is, and like, because even a casual fan can just, can look at the landscape of like what's going on in Major League Baseball. Your big time closers on the IL right now, Jahan Duran, like that's a problem. You were missing Zach Wheeler pretty much the whole first month of the season. Aaron Nola has been a dumpster fire at the number 2 spot in the rotation. You pay Kyle Schwarber to hit home runs. He's not keeping pace with like the 10, 11, 12 home runs out of the gate. Bryce Harper, your, 100, 200, $400 million first base.
$300 million.
Exactly. Playing first base. He's batting 210, like, come on. Like these aren't like, and the problem is, and this is the problem, is these guys are making insane amounts of money. And it just doesn't seem like anybody can just say the quiet part out loud. Like, you guys are underperforming. You guys who are paid to play baseball stink.
Yeah.
And you got these young guns coming up like Kevin McGonigal batting 330 out of the gate and has a couple home runs, and Connor Griffin and making things happen on the field. And
Spencer
you're like,
Torkelson.
Well, you want some of these rookies to stand up in a locker room, and you just want to be like, hey, why do all you veterans stink so bad? Like, why are you so bad at your job? Because you guys are making just buku dollars, And, again, we're heading towards like arbitration and like, a lockout and negotiations and all this stuff. And it's like, man, how can we get on board? Like, just like having no rules, no limitations to these contracts, and the performance on the field just gets worse for some of these guys.
Yeah, and I think it's
So,
worth
anyway.
I think it's worth broaching the topic. Are we okay with Major League Baseball having guaranteed contracts for players? For example, Kyle Schwarber signs this 3-year, I forget exactly what it was over $100 million. Is there grounds for underperformance that leads to jeopardizing next year's contract or leads to wage garnishment? I mean, okay, let's think for a second of another industry, another business, because everybody says around the trade deadline, well, it's just all part of the business of baseball, right? It's a business. Okay, the goal in business is for employees to perform, correct?
That seems to be the case.
You go to the hospital, you expect nurses to nurse, you expect doctors to operate, you expect techs to run the machines properly, the receptionist to be nice and kind. And if any of those things falls apart, who do you hold responsible? You hold responsible the person that is not performing, right? If there's a doctor who accidentally slices an artery, you don't just be like, oh, well, we need to fire the chief of medicine. No, the doctor's losing his job, or the doctor's getting payment docked. If you have a big industry like an electrical company or plumbing company come out to do work at your house, and the tech who's doing the work, the tradesman who's doing the work, does your plumbing incorrectly or does your electrical incorrectly, and there's a fire in your house, who's losing their job? It's not the supervisor. It's the guy who actually did the work. And I feel like in the situation of the Phillies or in the situation like the Red Sox, the manager gets fired and there needs to be additional consequences for the players, right? Like, it should not be just status quo. Oh, we're really going to miss Topper. He was a really great manager. And, we just need to try and turn it. And, oh, well, you know what? Look, my game day paycheck just showed up. Oh, look at that sweet chin music of $400,000 or $500,000 I just made. Life is so bad.
So I'm gonna come at it from the other direction. I'll take it from behind, if you will. And what I'm going to say is, like, okay, you can look at it from the player, like looking from the player's perspective, and like you're the ones obligated to like perform for the money that you're playing for and the contracts you've gotten for yourself. It feels like, though, the manager's always the fall guy because he's the middleman. And who never spends enough time at the microphone? They always do it before the season, and they always do it afterwards. But the general managers get to hide behind, up in their ivory towers in their suites, and they don't get their feet pressed to the fire. Like, why the heck, in some cases, did you dole out that kind of money for these players, and ultimately, why did you assemble this roster? Because this roster lacks chemistry, this roster doesn't put it together, and ultimately it's the manager that eventually like loses the clubhouse, he loses the narrative. Bob Thompson's kind of like, we're just bad. Like, what's wrong with the Phillies? Everything. Like, I just, at some point it's like, you're kind of grasping at straws because you're like, okay, so you fire Rob Thompson, and then the next day Don Mattingly rolls out the same lineup that Rob Thompson's been rolling out there. The only difference is the penmanship, because the guys that's holding the pen is a different guy. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm with you. It's just like, unfortunately, we live in a world where, the players will never play for non-guaranteed contracts because, for example, you had Javi Baez, had a freak injury at first base, and he's done for the year now, and so it's a crazy game that they play, and things happen on the field, and
so here's a novel
field if they're not guaranteed certain amounts of money.
Here's a novel idea. Okay, you won't play for an unguaranteed contract, but I do know someone who will. Are the Savannah Bananas playing for guaranteed contracts?
Yeah, but when you and I take the field, nobody's paying money to watch that.
Well, you never know, because there might be some people that will pay money to see that.
Our own wives aren't coming out to the softball games to watch us play.
I know of prospects and guys who are playing at independent league affiliates who are playing on non-guaranteed contracts.
Trevor Bauer,
who would love the opportunity to come up to the major leagues and play baseball for a non-guaranteed contract. It's just a vicious cycle that we've created, right? We've created this necessity of guaranteed contracts. And if we just had the boldness to be like, yeah, no, we're not doing guaranteed contracts. And the players that we get are the players that we get. I mean, you basically wind up with a lineup like the White Sox, or a lineup like the Marlins. And maybe everybody else kind of takes a hint with that, and they realize, man, would we rather spend $600 million and fire a manager every couple of years? Or would we rather have guys who are going to give it their all and kick it, and this is actually fun baseball to watch? So, valuable discussion.
You're calling for revolution is what you're calling for.
All right. Revolution.
And I'm not necessarily not there for that. I just I think it's interesting. Like we're going to have to.
I'm calling for in the spirit of what this year means to this country, I'm calling for a tea party. I think we need to get on the the HMS Fanatics, or the HMS Major League Baseball, and we need to dump some tea in the harbor. That's what I'm calling for. Bam.
I got another question for you.
Great. Is this another Phillies question?
No, it's not.
Okay, good.
It's we got a feud going on in baseball right now, in case you didn't notice.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a feud going on. And are you team Council or are you team Dodgers? Are you team Council or are you team Dodgers?
Between the Cubs and the Dodgers?
Between the Cubs and the Dodgers. Craig Counsell, week or so ago, I think filed a complaint with Major League Baseball and the rules department because he observed in their 3-game series against the Dodgers just a bit of what he would probably term an injustice. The injustice being that Major League Baseball teams are limited to carrying no more than 13 pitchers on their roster. But because Shohei Ohtani is a two-way player, starting pitcher, outfielder, DH, whatever, they're allowed to carry a 14th pitcher because Shohei Ohtani doesn't count as a pitcher. And so Craig Counsell posed the question, why is it that the Dodgers get to carry one more pitcher than everybody else? And I don't think that's an invalid question to have to ask.
Yeah.
You get one more arm in the bullpen. You get one more, you could carry one more lefty back there in case you need to shake things up. And Craig Counsell, he's not my favorite person in the world as far as baseball personalities go.
Oh, please.
But I do think he raises a legitimate point. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. Because you are, of the two of us, you are the Dodgers apologist.
Let's play loose with that term.
You are the
no, I'm team Counsell.
Character. There we go. Okay.
No, so I thought you were going to go with the whole time he has in between innings, between pitching and batting, or batting and pitching.
There's that.
I think he's got to be treated like everybody else. And if he's going to start, that's definitely a pitcher. I don't care if he's a two-way player. If he's toeing the rubber, what is he? He's a pitcher. He should be treated like a pitcher. And the Dodgers shouldn't be able to have a 6-man rotation and 8 guys in the bullpen because Shohei's one of their 6th men in the rotation. And, oh, by the way, he's also our DH. If you're going to have a two-way player, that's great. But you got a 25-man roster, right? He doesn't count for 2 roster spots, does he? Even though he's a two-way player. So
And
I feel like they're having their cake and eating it too. And it is a vagueness in the rules, and they do need to clarify it. And honestly, I think there should be more teams who are like, yeah, well, we're bringing up two-way players as well, and kind of necessitate the problem, right?
Well,
if the tush push is a problem, the way to elevate that problem is everybody else start doing tush pushes. If the two-way player thing is a problem, everybody start doing two-way players.
I understand it's a gray area, but like the rule says, a maximum of 13 pitchers. And if you're pitching once a week, you're a pitcher. Like you are a pitcher. And so if you're pitching once a week in a starting capacity, you are a pitcher. Now, Dave Roberts does appear to be reading the room on some of this stuff, because if you've noticed, and this is the big question, Ohtani's not batting when he pitches.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
He used to. They stopped that.
Exactly.
So now, in my mind, he counts as a pitcher.
So it's a health thing or whatever. They're saying it's a health thing, but it's also like in the World Series last year, Toronto Blue Jays manager was like flipping a lid in between innings, because it was like, he's taking his sweet old Shohei's taking his sweet old time, getting his batting gloves off and getting back to the mound. And it's like the 2 minutes in between innings is becoming 4 or 5 minutes. And it's like, because he gets a special treatment.
6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And you just like, that's crazy. No, I think baseball, Shohei Ohtani is a juggernaut, and, he's a demigod on the baseball field. However, we need to just like take a step back, and we're like, okay, part of what's free, and this is going to lead to the work stoppage and everything else. Ultimately, it's the appearance that in more ways than one, the Dodgers are playing on their own, on their own plateau and their own playing field, and everyone else can't possibly keep up with that. And, go out and find yourself a two-way player. That's easier said than done, because so far in Major League Baseball, we've seen Babe Ruth and we've seen Shohei Ohtani. Like
Babe Ohtani, as they call him now, Babe Ohtani.
Yeah. And, no matter how many home runs Madison Bumgarner hit, you're not playing him every day in the outfield, because he's just not a two-way player. So,
yeah.
Anyway.
Good conversation. All right, so let's go back to something that we did early on in the season. During the first couple weeks, we did a game to try and get some traction and just to, test our baseball acuteness, called the Walkoff. Alex, you got an edition of the Walkoff for us today?
I do have an edition for the Walkoff today. And
unfortunately, I don't have a pen.
Well, find a pen, man. Find a pen. Are we hanging out? We set a division beforehand. Are we hanging out in that division? Are we going to go to the AL West?
Well, I'll leave it up to your discretion.
All right, I'm going to go the San Diego Padres. The San Diego Padres. Aaron has stepped away from the microphone for a second, and the San Diego Padres. We're looking for those of you who don't know.
I'm back. I can hear you now. I didn't hear anything up to this point.
Perfect. No, we're going to pick the San Diego Padres as a for you.
Okay.
And today so in the walk-off is according, like the walk-off game, it's 4 categories, and you're trying to match 3 players in each categories. The categories today are as follows. The franchise home run leaders ranked 6 to 50. So like they're not the top 5, 6 to 50. So they're up there, but not quite.
They're great. They're good, but not great.
Then you have the top 5 home run hitters in the second category. So you have the elite home run hitters.
Franchise history?
Franchise history. So franchise, most home runs, ranked 6 to 50. Franchise, top home runs, top 5. And then you have the same category in strikeouts. Most franchise, most strikeouts, ranked 6 to 50. And then franchise, top 5 strikeouts. Okay.
So you just have to pick someone who's in between 6 to 50.
First, you got to get the hitters and the pitchers on one side or the other, and then you got to divide up like who's the elite of the elite and the others. Here are your players in order as they appear on my screen. Going down, top 3 going down. Phil Nevin, Adrian Gonzalez, Dennis Rasmussen. Next column, Dinelson Lamet, Scott Sanders, Manny Machado, Jurickson Profar, Eric Show.
Eric what?
Eric Show as in like I went to the show last night.
SHOW?
SHOW.
Not Eric Snow.
Ha-Song Kim. Nope, not that would be the Sixers point guard. Yep. Ha-Song Kim.
Okay.
Ha-Song Kim, Jake Cronenworth, Jake Peavy.
Okay.
And Trevor Hoffman.
Oh, gee whiz. All right, so Peavy and Hoffman are going to be strikeouts 1 to 5. They're going to be in the 1 through 5 category.
Yep, Peavy and Hoffman. Yep.
Peavy, Hoffman, and then I'll also do pause for a second. Home runs 1 through 5 will go Nevin, Machado, and Gonzalez.
Nevin, Machado, Gonzalez, top 5.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Kim, Cronenworth, and Profar, home runs 6 through 50.
Yep.
Okay. Then we'll go Rasmussen with Peavy and Hoffman.
Okay, so that leaves you with
Sanders and Show for strikeouts 6 through 50.
All right. We're going to swing.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You hit a double. You got all the batters right. You basically you got them all right except Eric Show and Dennis Rasmussen. You have flipped.
I feel pretty good about that.
You feel real good about that. So you had a walk-off double.
Nice.
Walk-off double. Way to go.
Dude,
way to go. That feels real good.
All right. We going to do one for you? Or are we going to look ahead to this weekend?
Sure. Oh, no, I want to do one as well.
Your team, are we sticking in the NL West or are we doing other teams?
Just pick whatever's your fancy.
All right. My team for you, I want you to do let's do the San Francisco Giants.
The San Francisco Giants. Yikes. They have a long history.
They do.
All right. Do you want me to read it off here?
Yes, please.
All right. You got Barry Bonds.
So it's going to be same categories, right? Same categories.
Same categories. Barry Bonds, Matt Williams, Dave Kingman, Juan Marichal, Luther Taylor, Freddie Fitzsimmons, Brandon Crawford, Christy Mathewson, Willie Mays, Bill Terry, Billy Odell, and Tim Lincecum. So right off the bat, Barry Bonds is going top 5. Willie Mays is going top 5.
Is this home runs with the team or home runs overall?
Franchise top 5 home runs.
Franchise. So it's the home runs they hit with their team.
Yeah, and that's where I'm tempted to put Brandon Crawford in there too.
Who are the middle column? So I got Bonds, Williams, and Kingman.
Yeah. And then you have I've already started moving stuff around. I can't
no Buster Posey?
No Buster Posey.
All right.
I'm going to go Christy Mathewson.
He's a pitcher.
Top 5. Juan Marichal.
Yep, he should go top 5.
Yeah.
Where are you putting Lincecum?
I want to put him top 5 strikeouts.
Well, it's better than 6 through 50 home runs.
But did he pitch long enough though? I mean, he was electric.
These are the questions that plague humanity.
All right. So here's what we're doing.
All right. So for 6 through 50 all-time franchise home runs, who you got?
Let's see here. I have 6 to 50 home runs. I've got Matt Williams. Poof. I guess I have Brandon Crawford, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know I don't know who Dave Kingman is.
I think Dave Kingman was a. I don't think you. I think he was a pitcher. Who are your other guys?
That's the problem. Is like Billy O'Dell. I don't know who Billy O'Dell is. I don't know who Luther Taylor is. Luther Taylor sounds like a bopper. I'm going to go Luther Taylor. So I'm going. All right. So here's what I have right now. I have Brandon Crawford, Matt Williams, Luther Taylor. I have Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, and Juan Marichal. Top 5 home runs.
Juan Marichal's a pitcher.
He was?
Yeah, dude.
Are you sure about that?
I am dead certain about that. As a matter of fact, I'm calling into question your baseball IQ that you didn't know he was a pitcher.
Yeah,
he's the guy with the crazy high leg kick.
That's true.
The rocket.
That's true. All right. Well, this is dumb then. Then I'm putting Brandon Crawford top 5 home runs.
Yep.
All right, I'm just going to swing and see what this gives me. I got Tim Lincecum, Juan Marichal, and Christy Mathewson's top 5 strikeouts.
Looks good.
And I don't know some of these other names. Yikes. Rough.
Yeah? Wax.
Top 5 pitchers, got that right. Luther Taylor.
You're welcome for Juan Marichal.
Luther Taylor must be a pitcher. And I'm questioning your baseball IQ because Dave Kingman was definitely a hitter, apparently.
I told you that.
You said he was a hitter, not a pitcher.
No, dude.
And then Matt Williams. Matt Williams is a Matt Williams, Willie Mays, Barry Bonds, top 5 home runs. Bill Terry, Brandon Crawford, Dave Kingman, top 5, 6 to 50 home runs. Lincecum, Marichal, Mathewson, and then 6 to 50, Freddie Fitzsimmons, Billy O'Dell, Luther Taylor.
There's a reason why we've never heard of them. It's because they're number 6 through 50 on the franchise all-time strikeout record right there.
The San Francisco Giants, of all places. So, not great.
You're welcome for that. I regret nothing.
That was brutal.
So what'd you get? A walk-off single?
A walk-off triple.
This game makes no sense because if you know your stuff, you get a walk-off double. If you make a bunch of mistakes, then you get a walk-off triple?
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
I
think there's a reason.
Serious question. Did Donald Trump come up with this game?
There's a reason this game has been buried on MLB.com and you can't find it anymore. So there's that.
Ridiculous. Okay. As we look ahead to this weekend, lots to look forward to.
May 1st is this Friday. May 1st.
Oh, yeah. And May 5th and May 4th. I mean, Star Wars favorite day, Free Tacos Day, all that stuff's coming up this next week.
Question.
Yes. Yo.
Oh, no, I guess never mind. It is. But this last week, Sunday Night Baseball's not an every week sort of thing?
It is. It's on Peacock.
But there was no 7:20 game this last week.
Yes, there was.
It was like a 4:00 game on Peacock.
I don't think so.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Really?
100%. Because it was the Royals and some other team that played on Peacock at 4:10. And I'm like, it's either a thing or it's not a thing, but don't take Jason Benetti from me as a Tigers fan if you're going to put him at 4:00 on the tube. Like, come on. Oh, good. There's a Chase DeLauder sighting for the first time in weeks. Oh, needed that.
Yeah, first pitch was at 3:10. That's weird.
Yes, very weird.
Probably because of the NFL draft.
Probably.
If we're being honest.
Which is
this week, we do have Sunday Night Baseball.
We do, and it's in Detroit again. Detroit!
Ooh. Are you going?
I wish. I'm going to have out-of-town guests in town this weekend.
Bruh, totally got to go down there. It's going to be
town. Oh, actually, they're leaving Sunday. They're leaving Sunday. I might be going. I can send some cards for you to have signed. For example, I have this.
Uh-oh.
Jacob deGrom.
I got I got a Jacob deGrom purple refractor in the Topps Heritage. Just kidding. Cody Freeman, rookie infielders. Look at this guy is begging to be signed right here. Okay.
The thing about those cards, none of those guys are in the big leagues anymore.
Jeremiah Jackson is. Newsflash. So
Jeremiah Jackson.
So you're looking Rangers, Tigers. That's a decent series. They're both around 500.
Yep.
Both looking to build some momentum.
Speaking of which, a lot of teams are around 500. A lot
Very
of
true.
them.
Except for the Dodgers, for the Phillies. There are a lot of teams right around 500. The Guardians Athletics game is interesting.
Very interesting matchup.
Again, they're right around 500. I feel like the Athletics are starting to warm up a little bit and figure some things out. And I think they're going to become a dangerous team here over the next couple weeks.
Yes.
Just my gut. But
another series that tickles my fancy, Reds Pirates.
Yep. Battle for the Heartland.
Both teams above 500. Reds look really good. Pirates, I mean, they've been solid. That's very, very interesting. Don't look now, depending on how the next day or so plays out. Both these teams could be at 500 or above, but all of a sudden the Orioles are back at 0. They're back at 500. They're taking on the Yankees this weekend.
Oh,
very interesting. And the lowly Giants. The Giants, they're 13-16. They're playing pedestrian baseball. The Rays just continue to play sneaky good baseball. And
Steven Matz, bro. Steven Matz.
And it looks, I mean, they have a chance to take another series from an underperforming team, and you just never know what that might mean. And so I don't know. There's some things to keep an eye on as far as some matchups this weekend, which I'm looking forward to.
Let's one more. Let's put Carlos Mendoza on the hot seat. This weekend, the Mets play the Angels. The Angels managed by Kurt Suzuki, the Kurt Suzuki who is managing for 1 year only.
He agreed to play. He agreed to manage the whole season on the interim tab. So
that's right. So the Mets go out to Los Angeles to play them in Los Angeles. Last weekend, they went into Colorado and got swept by the Rockies. My gut tells me that if the Mets go out to Los Angeles and get swept by the Angels, or just don't have a great weekend series out there, next week we're talking about Carlos Mendoza having been fired.
And then is Alex Cora this time next week the manager of the New York Mets?
No. Dark horse candidate Buck Showalter. Dude's a legend.
He is. Can't that guy just enjoy retirement?
Well, we'll see. Some people play golf. Other people just got the itch for the game. And, lots of fun baseball to watch this weekend. If you have opportunity to get to a game and watch the game. Never know what you might witness in history. And, good discussion today, Alex. Both of us in the booth. Lively baseball banter. We'll be back next week with more of Two in the Booth. And until then,
just like my lunch in a few minutes in the bathroom, we're out of here.